template for regular service. I'm going to search for that. Ooh, let's see what it brings up. Yes, here we are. This is template for regular service containing all the standard prayers we do. Should be in the correct order. Here. I put a blank slide between the end of Song 150 and the Aleinu, and that's where you put in all the songs, is where that blank slide is. If you can see, right over here. Now to find slides for the songs, simply hit the Windows key, type in the name of the song. For example, How Great Is Our God? It shows up here under Files. It'll usually show you several different headings of types of things you're looking for. So an example, it shows under Files. And I just click on it. There's usually a couple of them. And here we have How Great Is Our God. Now you can see it's all in black and white text. I usually go to the outline. Oh, nope, can't do it here. You have to change all the text to white for most songs. You also must add a back shadow. So I just go in here, select all the color, and up here is the font color. Click the arrow next to it, it'll bring a drop down menu. Select white, and then make sure there's drop shadow, which is over here, along with bold, italic, underline. Make sure that's enabled and highlighted. I go down here and select all that. Do the same thing again with the color. Drop shadow is enabled. Go do it to all of them. If you don't do this, it doesn't show up right on the projector. And yeah, this video may sound really terrible. And after I've gone through and changed all of it, I just do a save. It may bring up this dialog box. It says it may contain formatting or content that can't be saved in the current file format. Just select keep current format. Basically ignore the box and just click the highlighted button on the left. Great, now you've changed the slide so we can use it during the service. To put the slide in the slideshow, click the first slide on the slides tab over here, and then shift click the bottom one. That'll select all the slides. You may have to scroll down to see the rest. I snap it over using the Windows arrow key, Windows and the left arrow key. I do the same with this thing. It just makes it easy to work with. You see I've got 3 slides highlighted. I simply drag all 3. You'll see here there's a little 3 there. Shows you how many slides you have selected. Bang, they're in there. Over here on the, let me put this bigger. There's an editing tab on this right side here. The second option of these links here where it says master, click that, and all of these samples, it says used in this presentation, just pick that random one and select apply to select this to all slides, and that'll save. Now do a save as after you've put the first song in. I'm going to save it as 5 dash, well, today's the 29th, 14. So put today's date and this, and just say Shabbat service. And then I use the Windows right arrow to snap it back over here. You can now close this little presentation thing. The links are still there. That way you can see what you're working on. Just remember, before you project the show, make sure to apply the master slide to all the slides. You are now done with how this over here, How Great Is Our God. You can close that. It'll say has been modified. You want to save your changes. Oops. Make sure to deselect all those first. Do a save. I just close it out. And do the same thing with all the other slides. there usually will show up multiple versions of a file. Just click on the first one, and if it's not right, just type in the same one, and you click on the second one. It'll always show up in the same order for the song. So if you type, so let's go back to How Great Is Our God. How Great Is Our God? I've got, over here, I've got 3 different versions. They should all be the same. And as a matter of fact, they are, but now the first one is the right one we've just edited. Oops. Usually God is typed with a dash, and I didn't put that in this time. See? Back to How Great Is Our God. For some reason, it's not showing up right over here. Ignore that. Let's hope it works. And yeah, you don't have to go find any of the slides, the songs. You just have to type in the name of the song. Hopefully, you remember to. Hopefully, the God is. If any names of God should be correctly hyphenated. If you don't put them in hyphenated, you're probably not going to find it. But in the case that it isn't hyphenated, just type it in regular. Or just type it in both ways till you find the song you want. Or if also you can type in the text of a song. Okay, back to How Great Is Our God. I believe that the computer indexes all the text in the slides as well. So I'm going to type in the splendor of the King. The splendor of the King. And it shows up with several different versions, several slides, actually 34 files that contain that text. And here we have, see these 3, How Great Is Our God. Voila. Just checking the dates edited. Up, and here we are. Here we have How Great Is Our God. That's the one we just edited. You can see the text is really light. All you're seeing is the back shadow. Great. So you can find a song by the text in the song, not the name of the song itself. So if you have part of the words, but you're not sure the name, or the name is written down wrong on what the worship team has, you can search for it that way. And let's pretend we've put in all the songs we want. I've just blown this back up big. To start a slideshow, click on the slide you want to start with, and then hit F5 on your keyboard, or this little, use 3 options in here. The first one, if you hover for a minute, it says start slideshow. Voila. Now on the projector it's showing the current slide, which is this big one here, and the next slide, and on our screen it shows the next slide also. I don't like to run this way. Down here there's a little option box. This one here, the option on the right says slides. Click that, it brings you to this window. This way you can just navigate through all the slides at once and jump to any individual slide, much like we used to do on our old computer. But in the current slide that's being projected is highlighted with a gray outline, and you can still use the arrow keys to navigate. Down arrow key simply goes to the next slide. This, for example, I always use up and down. Up and down do not go to the slide beneath here. So if I click down, it will not go to the slide, it will go to this one. See? It went over there. Right arrow does the same thing as down arrow. B still goes to black. It does not display if you're in black or not on this screen. It'll only do it on the projector. Sorry. And it will not follow the active window. So I've just selected a slide that's below the window. You have to go over here, drag the window bar or whatever you want to call it, or there's 2 arrow keys down here. Scroll wheel does not work. You must do this, or these 2 arrow keys, arrow buttons. I mean, changing slides can also be accomplished using these next and previous arrow buttons down here. Notes does nothing. We don't use notes. I'm not exactly sure what those do anyways. Current time is displayed in this white text. Yellow text is time spent in slideshow. And to exit the slideshow, simply hit escape. Now, in the event that the slides display on this monitor and what I just showed you, the screens I just showed you, end up being on the projector, simply exit the slideshow by hitting the escape key. Go back into this window here where we are now. Click on slideshow. It's up here after tools. You're going to go to slideshow settings. Excuse me, that's a tongue twister. Click this, which is the second option. You're going to bring up this dialog box. Down here at the bottom, there's options for multiple displays. It says presentation display, display 2. Make sure you don't have display 1 selected. If you have display 1 selected, that means that the slides are going to show up on the back computer screen, right back here where we are now, not out in the sanctuary. I'm just going to make sure it's on that right now. Click OK, and it should work. If not, the computer is broken and it's not how it's supposed to work at all. That should never ever happen. Recording. Now that we've done everything, that's all I need to show you with this. I can't think of anything I've forgotten. Alright, we're done with this for now. Save. I'm closing the window. Recording. We hit the Windows key, and our program is called Audacity, Audacity, or you can just type that in the search bar down here. Just open Audacity, click OK, and the red record button records. Voila. Sound system's on right now, but there's nothing going on. Just gives you a blue line. Hit the yellow stop button to stop recording. Save the file. Just go File, Save Project, and you make sure you're saving it in the 2014 file, which is under it's under Desktop Congregations BAM Recordings 2014. There we go. It'll show up with a few files here. 5-20. Make sure you have that highlighted. 5-29-14 test. It's calling it a test just because. That saves it. Now that gives you an Audacity file project. It does not give you a burnable 2-disk file. To do that, you go down here, File, Export, or Control-Shift-E is the shortcut. It'll bring up this export file dialog box. Type in your file name, which should already be the same as your project name. You have to save it as a project first, which was the first save I showed you. Usually I save it as a WAV file because it's nice and high quality. Type in the name, 5-29-14 test for this one. I'm just going to hit save. Then comes with this edit metadata box. Type in the artist's name. Oh, I just did that, didn't I? Try that again. Export. Same stuff. Save. I'm going to replace it just so I can show you all the examples again. You type in the artist name. For this example, it's going to be Ben, because that's me. Track title is 5-29-14 test. Album title is test oh, let's pretend we're doing an actual one. 5-29-14 Sermon Jack. Album title. This year's albums are 2014 messages. And then I add the year, 2014. That adds in all of the data we should need. I am not the artist. My bad. So you're going to put in a track title of today's date and who gave the sermon or Devar, depending on what it was. The album title for this year is 2014 Messages. And you're going to put in the year number. Ignore track number, genre, and comments. Click OK. And it'll export it. So if it's an actual file longer than 10 seconds or whatever, like it'll show up with a progress bar loading and showing you how long it's going to take to export it. When you're done with that, you can just close the window. Then you come up here to Congregation to burn the file to the disk. Launch Windows Media Player down here at the bottom. Click on Burn over here. Minimize that. Congregation is over here, and you're going to go to Beth Amasai Recordings. Select the 2014 file, and then I'm gonna pop this over here. I'm using my Windows window arrow shortcuts to size those windows. Make sure it's selected as burn. Pretend I have a disk in there, and you drag the 529.14 test that has the little blue music note on it. Drag that over here. Add to burn list, just like in our old computer. Make sure you have a disk in here, otherwise it's not going to burn. And then at the top it says start burn. And that's the exact same way to burn it. Now, I've been using iTunes to get the file sizes down for internet uploading, and as of yet, I don't have iTunes on this computer, because I have to take it home to download it. So, I'm afraid that's as good as it's going to get. You're also going to wait to upload those to the internet until I get back. We don't need that right now, nor this. And that's the extent of this tutorial. I'm afraid I'm running out of recording time. Anyway, I hope that helps. And I guess that's everything. Thanks for being patient with me. I'm not the best in the world. I know when it comes to making videos. All right, bye.